You're listening to Barry Burnett on Investing Insights with Barry Burnett on Talk Radio 790 KABC. Today's show is about risk management. We are talking to our spectacular special guest and my very dear friend, longtime friend, Ernest Dellinger. Ernest, you are an investor. You manage your own portfolio of properties that you have absolutely taken care of. And you have recently retired from a major municipality as a building and safety inspector. So I know you have a lot of passion about this stuff. What's your background?
My background was that I learned a lot of these of repairs and things by doing them for realtors. After an inspection report is issued, there are corrections to be made or usually negotiated between the buyer and seller. And one of the things that I specialized in was addressing those issues and correcting them so that escrows could close. And that's what I was doing before I became a building inspector.
Cool. But you never had Mr. Fix-It stapled to your forehead. So you obviously went beyond that. When you become a building and safety inspector, what is it that you have to know?
The building codes, because each municipality has the opportunity to interpret the building codes. And so when a buyer, a resident, a homeowner is thinking about doing an improvement to their home, it is very helpful to call the building department and get some clarification on some of these building issues so that they can just do it once instead of having to go back and have alterations made a second time.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, isn't it? Okay, but this isn't your average radio home show. We're not necessarily talking to individual homeowners. A lot of our listeners have portfolios that may include industrial parks, shopping centers, mobile home parks, and all kinds of things, including multifamily dwellings. Now, we've got a lot of multifamily where people's lives are on the line where they live. What happens if you walk into one of those and you're doing an inspection on a minor issue and you see it maybe isn't so minor?
That's one of those times when if it's really life-threatening, then as an inspector, I had an opportunity to red tag the unit. That didn't happen very often, but there were areas of a building that had to be closed off in order to make it safe for the residents, and then I was able to interface with the owners and have them get the proper people in to make the repairs.
Have you ever heard the term bootleg?
Vaguely.
Yeah. Do you ever see bootleg when you're out?
Oh, so many times, yes.
How do you fix it?
Call a licensed contractor.
Okay.
Get the permit and proceed through the construction with the inspection process.
Okay, so you're at a strip center and you see some absolutely, and pardon me, Mr. Disney, Mickey Mouse operations of the electrical systems. What do you do?
Well, I would have called the electrical inspector, but we ended up closing down a restaurant, and because their electrical panel was hazardous.
Okay, but the building inspectors, they're really just naturally mean and abusive people, aren't they?
Oh, that's the reputation that we get, but unfortunately, we try to keep up that that image.
Yeah.
But really, we try to help people.
Okay, so the purpose is what?
Safety.
Okay, and why?
Because we don't want anybody to be hurt to begin with.
Okay,
but it also
can lives be on the line?
Definitely.
You and I had a conversation about some of the lives that have been lost because of things that have not been inspected or evaluated for a period of time, maybe not brought up to current codes, like the Chicago 2003 balcony failure that cost 11 lives and 57 injuries. So how often do the people that meet you to go over the plans and permit requests and at inspection times, how many of those people actually understand the codes?
Well, more the contractors than the owners, because the codes are quite extensive. But it's easy to, well, not easy, but I always tried to boil it down to the core issues and to even point out the things that were wrong so that they'd understand what needed to be corrected.
That's a really good point, because some of these things need to be corrected because they're just bottom line safety issues. Now, if you're a portfolio manager and you know about these safety issues and you don't deal with it, well, in the risk management department, that can be construed as negligence, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you've documented for the city's records, and then do you report to the county as well?
No.
Okay, so each city keeps its own interpretations of the code based upon the uniform building code as interpreted by that city. And we've got a bunch of cities in the Los Angeles County, Orange County, San Bernardino, Riverside, Ventura County areas. Wherever you can hear our voice, every one of them has a separate municipality code or a county code if you're in the unincorporated areas. So you're dealing with an awful lot of personalities, and the objective is safety, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you ever find people living in complete illegal environments?
Yes. A lot of illegally converted garages. And but the other thing is that I've seen many apartments that just had too many people in them.
Yeah. Some pretty scary risk management issues. And we're going to have professionals from the insurance environment talk about those as well, but not today's show. In the building and safety arena, you've had a distinguished career, and I can tell you, listeners, Ernest is not only one of my dearest friends, but he's also a really trustworthy and kind fellow. And so when the inspectors tell you to do something for health or safety purposes, please do it. It's just absolutely vital to maintain health and safety on your properties, because negligence has its cost.